Despite chilly January temperatures, fishing fans bundled up and headed to Lake Guntersville this weekend for the MLF Finals. The event marked the start of Major League Fishing's Bass Pro Tour season, with 4 days of competition on the water. Major League Fishing is the highest level of competitive bass fishing in the world. But how does the scoring work? Instead of a traditional weigh-in, every bass caught over 2 pounds during the allotted time is immediately weighed, released, and added to an angler's total weight. Whoever ends the day with the highest cumulative weight wins.
51 anglers fish the first 2 days, and then the top 25 fish the second day. And here on the final day, we have the top 10 anglers who are trying to compete to take home the win. This is the first stop of the season. We have 7 regular season events on the Bass Pro Tour, and so we're kicking our season off here on Lake Guntersville.
Anglers used a variety of baits and techniques, adjusting their strategies on one of the top bass fishing lakes in the country.
It's very unique at the Bass Pro Tour level, where we have officials in every single boat that are measuring and weighing the fish as they're caught in real time.
The event also included a kids fishing derby, where the first 50 kids in line received a free fishing rod. Members of the Sandrock High School fishing team helped run the event, introducing young anglers to the sport.
We had 100-something kids yesterday, and it'll go from 3 to 5 today. And, they go out there, we give them some worms, and all the kids go out there and, hopefully catch some fish.
The fishing show drew in people of all ages, all sharing the same passion for the sport.
I want to go to college for it, get a scholarship for it. It's like something that I love to do.
With first place worth $125,000 plus bonuses, anglers were fishing for more than bragging rights, all at the first stop of the 7-event Bass Pro Tour season.
There's a lot of preparation that goes into these months of research and getting ready for this tournament, and so they've put in a lot of time. There is certainly an element of luck, but certainly a lot of hard work that goes into being successful.
The winner of the MLF Finals on Lake Guntersville is Drew Gill, who caught a total of 28 bass for 82 pounds 4 ounces. This victory marks his 3rd Bass Pro Tour win and 4th overall MLF title, capping off an exciting start to the season.
If you have a child at home, there's a good chance they've played Roblox, where kids build and play user-generated games while chatting with others, paying for special avatars, abilities, and items along the way. But the open-ended nature of Roblox, as well as its chat functionalities, has led to major questions and lawsuits over child safety.
We did everything we thought we did. We did our best. We put the parental controls. We talked to my son about the dangers. Don't click any links. He thought he was corresponding with a minor. Little do we know it was a 30-something-year-old man.
We registered for Roblox as though we were a 10-year-old. Almost immediately, we came across worlds such as active shooter games. In this spray paint world, marketed to kids 5 and older, we saw inappropriate language within seconds, and messages about dying along with an image of a stick figure in what appeared to be a noose. Roblox says that while it uses technology to block inappropriate content, those tools work best when paired with parental controls. Anger over safety issues has led to some of its own users, like 15-year-old Mason Hebden, to call for action.
Game I've seen inappropriate avatars with body parts that really shouldn't be in the game.
After hearing about so many kids' inappropriate experience on the game, he launched a petition calling for accountability from Roblox CEO and co-founder Dave Baszucki. The petition has more than 300,000 signatures.
Since he hasn't done anything at all in the past, multiple years, I feel like there needs to be a change with the CEO spot.
Roblox says it welcomes the feedback from the community.
We have been building safety systems for a long time, and we will continue to build and innovate and improve.
In addition to its existing parental controls and safety measures, Roblox is rolling out age-gating software that scans a user's face, estimates their age, and will only allow the player to chat with those in their age range.
We will have systems running in the background to detect if there's any kind of anomalous behavior on the account. So if we have any reason to believe that the person that use the facial age estimation system and verify their account is no longer operating that account, we'll introduce additional checks.
The company is also facing dozens of lawsuits, including by at least 4 states.
Today I'm announcing that my office is filing a lawsuit against Roblox for what we believe are serious failures to protect our kids. Roblox aggressively markets to young children, but fails to protect them from sexual predators.
If your child is playing Roblox, experts recommend the following tips. Register your child in the appropriate age range. Set up a parent account, link it to your child's, and engage parental controls. Only put approved friends on their chat list. monitor their activity, and keep open the lines of communication. For Mason's mom, Lena, figuring out how to manage the risks of a game like Roblox is just part of modern parenting.
There's really only so much a parent can do without fully taking the game away, so we have to make them as prepared as possible.
Hadass Gold, CNN, New York.
She was in shock when she was asked to get up out of the car and that she then was arrested.
Through a translator, Dulce Consuelo Diaz-Morales for the first time speaks about her fight to prove her citizenship and a new ICE requirement that she now must wear an ankle monitor.
She says that the monitor feels weird because it harms her sometimes, but she says that it is better than being detained.
The ankle monitor, I feel, is very dehumanizing. Unfortunately, I don't think we're going to get it off until the proceedings are terminated, and the fact that she's still under ICE supervision is just appalling to me.
Immigration and Customs Enforcement first detained Diaz-Morales in Baltimore last month, despite her pleas that she is a U.S. citizen.
The nightmare has not ended. And it is truly a nightmare that calls into question everything I thought I knew about safety, sanity, and cruelty.
Her legal team provided documents, including her Maryland birth certificate, but the Trump administration is not backing down, insisting to WJZ Investigates she is not a U.S. citizen who illegally entered along the Arizona-Mexico border in 2023. Her lawyers say she was incorrectly placed into removal proceedings after entering the United States without documentation during an emergency and mistakenly processed as a non-citizen.
I wanted to ask about the impact on your young child and how you cope with all this uncertainty.
Her son had missed her deeply, that the first days of her detention, he stopped eating, and that he expressed that he missed her every day and that he would cry every day.
She has a message for the Trump administration.
No matter that she has Hispanic heritage or that she's Hispanic, that she is still born here and she still counts as a United States citizen and she still has the same rights as everyone else.
Protesters taking to the streets in Greenland this weekend, upset with President Donald Trump's attempt to take over the autonomous territory ruled by the Kingdom of Denmark.
He doesn't respect anything. He just takes what he thinks is his and what he wants to do.
The Trump administration is threatening a 10% tariff on 8 European countries if they don't back his plan to annex Greenland, saying it's essential to U.S. national security.
President Trump is being strategic. He's looking beyond this year. He's looking beyond next year to what could happen for a battle in the Arctic.
European leaders have blasted President Trump's actions, including French President Emmanuel Macron, who said on social media, quote, "We will ensure that European sovereignty is upheld."
Greenland is our country. We cannot be bought. We are people, and he should stop whatever he's doing because we are the people of Greenland.
Democratic Senator Tim Kaine and Republican Senator Rand Paul are exploring options to ease tensions on the issue.
Let's rein in the rhetoric here. These discussions, they're not helpful because they're pushing allies away from us rather than forging the stronger relationships with allies that we need.
I'm John Lawrence reporting.
Jeg har ikke tenkt å gå inn og kommentere hver setning I den SMS-en. Han veldig opptatt av Nobelprisen. Og jeg har forklart til han lenge at det en pris som deles ut av en norsk komité, ikke av en norsk regjering. Og det kan jeg gjerne gjenta. Men jeg mener jo jeg har jo ment at hvis ledere veldig opptatt av fredsprisen, så ikke det noe dårlig sak. For det betyr at de opptatt av å gjøre noe som kvalifiserer for at den prisen som handler om fred kommer til dem. Men det altså noe ikke jeg tar beslutninger om, og det nødvendig å understreke.
Du har sagt at han vet det, men han gir jo uttrykk for at han ikke vet det. Hvorfor tror du likevel han bruker fredsprisen på denne måten?
Så du får reise over og spørre han. Det kan ikke jeg svare på.
Har du svart på meldingen?
Nei, jeg har vel ikke svart på meldingen. Jeg ønsket jo å få til en telefonsamtale med han I går om disse spørsmålene sammen med den finske presidenten som jeg arbeider tett med. Og det lot seg jo ikke gjøre, og jeg sendte vel et signal om at vi synes fortsatt det blir klokt med en sånn samtale.
Hvordan skal du svare på denne meldingen?
Nei, jeg har svart på det. Jeg tror fortsatt det klokt å snakke sammen. Nå reiser jeg sannsynligvis til dette møtet I Davos mellom økonomiske ledere. Der Trump, og får vi muligheten, så får vi ta en prat da.
Det er mye snakk om Grønland. Du fikk denne SMS-en tikkende inn på din telefon. Hvordan reagerte du på det?
Dette er jobben min, å følge med på dette. Hele helgen har gått med på å jobbe med europeiske kolleger, hvordan vi skal svare på dette ganske spesielle, og jeg mener uakseptabelt at det trues med tolltariffer mot allierte for å stå opp for helt grunnleggende prinsipper. Dette er ikke noe enkelt spørsmål, så vi må jobbe sammen med våre nærmeste, Storbritannia og de landene som er i EU.
Tror du Trump er seriøs når han skriver de tingene han skriver?
Vi må legge til grunn at ledere er seriøse, så har de ulike måter å uttrykke seg på. Trump har sin spesielle form. Det mener jeg, der er det stor variasjon i hvordan ledere utvikler. Sosiale medier har sin form. Og som jeg sier, Trump twitterer ofte det han tenker. Og så er det jo vår oppgave å følge opp hvis det berører oss.
We're seeing about a $900 million cost increase on I-40 due to Helene.
The State Department of Transportation is working with a new price tag to repair I-40 after damages from Helene.
Originally, the estimates were $1.1 billion. That has now gone up to nearly $2 billion. Really, the main factor behind that is we have new subsurface information. So the early estimates, we just did not have that information. So we've spent some time out there. We've worked closely with our contractor to determine those costs over time.
DOT engineers say this will not impact the timeline to reopen the interstate.
We're going to have to go deeper into the ground, but we're not changing the scope of the project. That will remain the same, and it will not change the timeline either. The project will still be completed. All lanes will be open in late 2028.
With the highway not up to full capacity, local economic leaders say there are impacts to the area.
Certainly, our travel tourism sector hasn't recovered to the level that it was pre-Helene. Some of that is because perceptions outside of our area that this area is closed to visitors or this area is not ready for visitors.
Tourism is not the only area Ramsey says is seeing impacts.
Companies that need to transport their products in various ways. The fact that that corridor is a little less accessible today than it was is certainly a drag on them. Many companies have just-in-time inventory where they're needing that inventory as timely as possible. So that's certainly an impact.
DOT says driving patterns along the reconstruction zone will not change.
Drivers will continue to be in the pattern they're in now, a single lane pattern in each direction along the work site, and it'll remain in that pattern until we're able to open all lanes in late 2028.
Did you know that you can get weather impact updates 24/7 on Fox 54 Plus? Here's how. Go to Fox 54 Plus on your Roku, Fire TV, Apple TV, or Samsung. Once you're on the main screen, push the down arrow and click on the Fox 54 Plus Weather Impact 24/7 block. Here, you'll find radar, current temperatures and conditions, traffic cams, forecasts, and more, all available on demand. Want to get back to the main channel? Just push the down arrow and click on the 24/7 stream button. It's your weather impact updates 24/7 on Fox 54 Plus. Start streaming today.
As electricity bills continue to rise, one climate activist is warning the Trump administration that its stance against cheap green energy could hurt the Republican Party in this year's midterm elections.
My prediction would be that electric prices are going to be to the 2026 election what egg prices were to the 2024 election.
From January to October 2025, the national average cost for electricity rose 12.8%. Activist Bill McKibben says President Trump's resistance to renewable energy, including freezing major wind energy projects last month, may cost the GOP seats in Congress. Meanwhile, wind and solar power prices have plunged globally.
We can't economically compete in a world where China gets a lot of cheap energy and we have to pay for really expensive energy.
According to a new Wall Street Journal poll, voters are seemingly unhappy with the economy, viewing it as weak. Some voters think the president is focusing too much on foreign affairs, though the administration insists Trump's economic policies benefit the United States.
We have set these trade deals, and it is very good for the United States. We are balancing our trade deficit.
Another issue still weighing on voters is inflation. People in Dearborn, Michigan agree prices of goods and groceries are just too high.
Oh, it's high. Yeah, it's very. My opinion is I often wonder how young families pay their bills.
The president is set to speak at the World Economic Forum on Wednesday, where he is expected to talk about affordability. In West Palm Beach, Florida, Mather Rivera, Fox News.
With health professionals still warning about the medical risks linked to loneliness,
loneliness or social isolation carries around the same health risks of smoking up to 15 cigarettes a day.
the CDC says having strong connections with others can help folks feel like they belong.
When we feel isolated or alone or like we don't have that, it affects our entire body. It affects your brain. People die younger when they're lonely.
But human development experts say it takes a lot of time and energy to build and maintain close relationships.
There's a study that shows that it takes 200 hours to establish a friendship. And you got to be lucky there. You've got to have enough in common.
According to Dr. Karen Fingerman of the University of Texas at Austin, friendships could offer solutions.
It's really the easy bake oven of a relationship.
A friendship usually refers to a no-strings-attached connection formed with people you regularly see in specific settings, like a coffee shop, gym, or dog park.
When you're at an activity, look around for someone that you can stand next to. Start a conversation.
And while experts aren't saying to stop forming close ties with others,
a friend will take you to the airport. A friend will bring you a meal maybe when you're sick. A friendship does not do that. That's not what they're there for.
Friendships can be a great place to start if you're feeling isolated.
People who aren't close to you provide stimulation. They provide novelty for you. They get you out in the world. But it doesn't require 200 hours or a lot of coordination.
Sue Guzman, Fox News.
How do you live? Well, I live with the confidence if I believe in myself, the money will follow.
The money has followed for Marty Supreme. The drama starring Timothée Chalamet has topped $80 million at the domestic box office, the best ever for a film released by A24. The previous record holder, Oscar Best Picture winner Everything Everywhere All at Once with $77 million.
Bad Robot, which is our production company, we're working on a number of projects.
J.J. Abrams is jumping back into sci-fi. Warner Brothers has slated the writer-director's film The Great Beyond to launch in IMAX theaters November 13th. Emma Mackey, Glenn Powell, Jenna Ortega, and Samuel L. Jackson lead the cast.
I can't work with him. We can't really talk.
Sentimental value dominated the 38th European Film Awards. The drama from Norwegian filmmaker Joachim Trier won 6 awards, including Best Film, Director, Actor for Stellan Skarsgård, and Actress for Renate Reinsve. The awards website Gold Derby has Skarsgård and Reinsve among the favorites for Oscar nominations. In Hollywood, I'm David Daniel.
The trick of the job is
not to die of boredom.
No chance of that in Steel, as thieves turn 2 office workers' lives upside down.
Commit the trades. I can't. These are people's pensions. Okay. Sorry. Trades have been approved.
Sophie Turner and Archie Madekwe got an unexpected chance to bond before filming.
2 weeks before we started shooting, we were both separately on holiday in Italy and bumped into each other, and which was so crazy and so...
it's like divine intervention.
Very divine intervention. And so then we ended up having a holiday together. We went out, we had dinners, we just had a really nice time, and we built a real friendship.
That came in handy on the tension-filled shoot.
Tell us what you know. Or what? MI5 can kill you and make it look like a stroke.
These people want me dead. Everything suddenly goes up in the air at the end of episode 1, and it just hooked me from the get-go.
There's another bloody layer. I need to know who they are.
That first episode, it does such a great job at building tension and stakes and surprise, and then by the end of it I was just completely thrown. It just completely turns on its head.
That's a very dangerous combination. Intelligence and frustration.
Zara's one of the good ones, Zara's a victim, and then I don't want to spoil anything. God, this is so hard.
We need to take him out now.
In Hollywood, I'm David Daniel.
Take a look at a surreal close encounter between a sunbather and a pair of curious orcas.
He's completely oblivious.
Eyewitnesses in New Zealand's Wellington Harbour spotted the whales first and captured video as they circled the platform where the man was catching some rays. Moments later, he finally figures out he has some guests.
He's just realised.
The man later told local media he wasn't panicked, but instead awestruck by the encounter. He also shared on Facebook that he quickly swam to shore because he, quote, did not want to be whale dinner. And from a whale of a tail to the white whale of Ferraris, exotic sports car enthusiasts gathered in Florida to glimpse this legendary Le Mans winning 1962 Ferrari 250 GTO. Named Bianco Especiale, it is the only Ferrari 250 ever painted in white from the factory. That's according to Beacom Auctions, which hosted bidding for this fabled Ferrari that ended up selling for an incredible $38.5 million. Finally, employees at a SoCal library likely turned white as a ghost when somebody finally returned a book that was nearly 46 years overdue. The copy of The Incredible Journey by Sheila Burnford was stamped with an original due date of May 20th, 1980, and included a note of apology for its tardiness. Luckily for the user, the County of San Diego says the library no longer charges overdue fines and shared the story saying better late than never, even if it's nearly 5 decades later. For Take a Look at This, I'm Jeremy Roth. Authorities in Minnesota used a helicopter to locate a hunter who was lost in a snow-packed rural region for half a day. According to the Minnesota State Patrol, the Minnesota Air Rescue Team, a joint operation of State Patrol pilots and fire department personnel, was called in to help locate the hunter who was reportedly lost in rural Millock County, battling deep snow and cold conditions for roughly 12 hours. Using thermal imaging and night vision, the team was able to locate the lost man, allowing rescuers to reach him on foot and bring him safely out. The rescue unit shared video of the operation online, where most users lauded the successful team effort in bringing the hunter to safety, while some shared keen observations of their own. Keen is the right word, right? A Colorado deputy faced a unique search and rescue op involving foul play, and by foul play, I mean a literal poultry problem.
What do I do about a chicken?
The Douglas County officer was called to a neighborhood on reports of chickens on the loose and had to get real creative, real fast to corral the birds. He did so with a little patience, skill, and some soothing self-narration.
I shall name you Bertha. Come here, Bertha.
The deputy was able to clasp the little clucker, but then became consumed with not why the chickens crossed the road.
I really did not think through step 2 of this plan.
But what to do with them.
What do I do with the chicken?
Ultimately, he ended up cooping them up in his patrol unit until animal control arrived and took over. The Douglas County Sheriff's Department shared the video and a reminder that their deputies handle everything from serious emergencies to surprise barnyard breakouts. For Take a Look at This, I'm Jeremy Roth.
You may know that there are strict laws on how prisons must be run to maintain a humane environment for people imprisoned. But what about jails? Do the same laws apply, or are there different standards? Are there any standards? We verify.
It's no secret that Alabama's prisons have long been under scrutiny for inadequate conditions. There's even a documentary about it, The Alabama Solution. But what about our city jails? Are jails held to any state or federal standards? Let's verify. Our source is the Code of Alabama. Here's what we found. The short answer is yes. There are several Alabama laws that mandate what cities must provide for people in jail. These requirements are found primarily in Title 14, Chapter 6 of the Alabama Code. According to Alabama Alabama Code 14619, the sheriff of a county jail must provide necessary clothing and bedding, medicine, and medical attention and feminine hygiene products to prisoners at the expense of the county. Section 97 mandates that the sheriff, police chief, or town manager must provide nutritious, clean, wholesome, abundant, and diverse food to all people in jail. Section 93 requires the county commission or city council to provide janitor service, bathing facilities, soap and towels, hot and cold water, clean bedding, and clothes. Section 21 actually makes it illegal for jail officials to allow jails to become foul or unclean. For cities with populations more than 10,000, Section 80 requires the Alabama Department of Corrections to inspect municipal jails at least twice a year to ensure just, humane, and economic management of the facilities. What about visitation rights? A person can be held in a jail for up to a year, but do they have to spend that whole time isolated from the outside world? According to the Alabama Department of Corrections, people in jail have no absolute constitutional right to visitation. However, most Alabama jails allow visitation, but each facility generally has its own policies. For example, the city of Decatur only allows visitors on Sundays from 1 to 3 p.m., and jailed individuals are only allowed one 20-minute visit per week. But what about phone calls? Alabama law requires that once you are under arrest, officers must allow you to make a phone call as soon as possible. But ongoing phone access is not a constitutional right. Jail staff may limit access to the phone if deemed necessary to maintain security. So we can verify that, yes, there are state laws mandating what city and county jails must provide to people in jail, but many of these laws include qualifiers like sufficient, adequate, and necessary, which are subjective terms that leave room for each facility to interpret at their own discretion.
If you have something you want us to verify, text us at 256-382-2692.
Fox 54 Plus has your news, sports, and weather. Start your evening with Fox 54 at 5:30, delivering the latest headlines and live reports straight from the scene. Then, stay informed with Fox 54 News at 9, featuring your Tennessee Valley certified most accurate weather impact team, tracking everything from tornado threats to traffic delays during severe weather. Fox 54 Sports Extra brings you more of what sports fans crave, with deeper insights, expert analysis, and all the action that matters most. On Fox 54 Plus, you'll also find Alabama politics, plus 24/7 weather radar and real-time forecasts to keep you ahead of the storm. Looking for a quick recap? Don't miss Fox 54 Week in Review, highlighting the biggest stories of the week. Jumpstart your morning with Morning Rush, fast-paced news updates featured with uplifting stories from across the globe. Get your entertainment fix with Getting Real, where we break down movie reviews, top 10 lists, and spotlight the newest film. Die Hard fan? Locked On Sports dives deep into the Crimson Tide, the Tigers, college rivalries, and pro action. True Crime Warrior Style? Killer Cases brings you gripping real-life stories that stick with you. Hungry for more? Cooking with Style serves up mouth-watering recipes that are easy to make and impossible to resist. From movie previews before you head to the theater with Take a Look, to must-know headlines from across the region and around the world with In the News. Watch all of these shows on demand and also on the Fox 54 News app, available on Android and iOS devices, streaming 24/7.